Liberty Division game between Springford and Norristown. Please be advised that no smoking or alcoholic beverages are permitted on campus in Norristown Area High School. No food or drink are allowed to drink at any time. For your convenience, tables, concessions, and restrooms are located in the lobby. In accordance with the other regulations, noise makers inside are not permitted at today's conference. Throughout its history, Pioneer Academic Conference has embraced the principle of fair play and sportsmanship in all the faculty levels. Those principles continue to guide us today. We ask all of you with the leaders this evening to be vocal and support your team in a positive fashion that reflects the principles of the Pioneer Academic Conference. Thank you again for your cooperation and please enjoy the game. At this time, we ask you to please remove your hats and rise for the play of our national anthem. And now for the starting lineup. Starting with listening, Rams. Number 3, Lucy Olsen. Number 11, Emily Tipton. Number 13, Gaz Allison Roney. Number 25, Abby Goodrich. And number 40, Casey Martin.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Norristown Area High School Gymnasium for tonight's Pac-10 matchup between the Norristown Eagles and the visiting Springford Rams. As Norristown in search of their first victory of the season, 0-2 with a loss at Plymouth White Marsh and a loss last night at home to Academy Park. I believe this is Springford's first game of their young season. And both teams, again, opening up their Pac-10 seasons here tonight at the high school gymnasium. Eagles looking to reverse their fortunes as last night some cold shooting at the free throw line and some open threes prevented them from gaining their first victory in a very winnable game. Kind of sleptwalked through that first quarter but answered the bell in the second, third, and fourth to make it a competitive game, nevertheless falling. And we are just about ready to get underway. And we are underway. Springford wins the tip and going to get a layup right away, as it is number 13, Gabs Alessandri, off what seemed like a scripted inbounds play, and now a turnover by Norristown right away. So not the ideal start for the Eagles, as a basket 6 seconds in and a turnover 6 seconds later, and they trail 2-0 early. Springford with the basketball. Inbound, worked the ball around the perimeter. Running the point for Springford is going to be Lucy Olson. She'll dish off to Alessandri in the corner. Thought about a three. Now they punch it inside, and a wide open three from the wing is up and no good. The rebound going to come underneath to number 25, Abby Goodrich, and her putback is good. 4-0 Springford. And they're out in the full court press to put pressure on Norristown. Norristown was able to beat that press last night, that Academy Park setup, and now another turnover here, and it's going to end up with another layup as Emily Tiffin is the beneficiary of another Norristown turnover. And we're going to get an early timeout by Norristown, as Rich Fisher does not like what he sees here early, as we are just 45 seconds in, and it is a 6-0 Springford lead. So out of the timeout, Norristown's going to have to find a way to deal with this press that the Rams have employed here early on, as they have pressed on both Norristown possessions and got early turnovers right away. Brookheim is the inbounder normally, although she will now be on the court looking to receive. She is a power forward who is capable of dribbling the basketball, which is beneficial, especially for beating the press. And Norristown a little bit better job, but Brookheim does turn it over again, and it's going to lead to another layup opportunity, but we're going to have steps. As Casey Marty shuffled her feet, first turnover on Springford, but again, Norristown has not gotten the ball past midcourt yet, and Schools stepped on the inbound. So once again, 4 possessions and 4 turnovers for the Eagles. Springford inbounds the basketball. Lucy Olson underneath, and a layup for Abby Goodrich, destined for Kutztown in just a couple of months. And now Schools will try to get it through this press. He's going to try to dribble through. Lots of hands around, and once again it's taken away by Lucy Olson. And another layup, and right away it is 10-0 Springford, as Norristown has yet to get the ball past half court and set up offensively. And we're going to have a blocking foul on Olson. First team foul on Springford, as they're going to have to find a way to deal with this press, as right now Springford Rams looks like there's 7 of them out on the court. Shania Thomas inbounds the basketball, and we're going to get another foul. We'll see who this is on. It looks like it's going to be Emily Tiffin, her first, team second on Springford, so maybe that'll cause Springford to back up a little bit. I don't want to get in too much foul trouble early. But now Norristown in difficulty inbounding the ball. They do get it to Emily Schools, but it is taken away once again by Springford. And their aggressive defense has paid dividends early on. Now Goodrich at the elbow. 7-footer blocked by Brookheim, and now it's Norristown finally with the ball past half court, as it's Emily Schools who is being hounded by Springford right now. Gets some help by Brookheim, and we're going to have another reach-in foul on Springford. And if this is on Olson, this will be her second. And it is. That's her second foul just 2 minutes into this game. We'll see if there's any action on the Springford bench. If Mickey McDaniel make a decision to pull the point guard out, he does not. And now Norristown gets set up for the first time tonight. Early on, 6:05 to play, 10-0 Springford as they find Schools in the corner. Schools thought about three, looking to try to get it inside to Janiah Thomas. She can't. And ball is deflected. It comes down in the hands of Emily Tiffin. And now they'll look to push. She gets it ahead to Alessandri. Alessandri's bounce pass is off Goodrich. And it's going to stay Springford basketball as Norristown's the last to touch. They're going to call it Springford again. Yeah, look from here as it went off a Springford player. It should be Norristown basketball, but we'll see how this works out. A steal now. Amari Wise on a steal. Taking it to the hoop, gets bumped, no call. And the layup is no good. And here comes Springford. As it's Tiffin, bounce pass underneath. And a shot from the elbow by Lucy Olson is up and in. It is now a 12-0 Ram lead. Amari Wise with the basketball, waves her teammates on, again has the ball deflected as the long arm of the law here by Lucy Olson is continuing to cause trouble. Goodrich, top of the key, no good. Rebound and bumped out of bounds. Nevertheless, coming down with it is Casey Marty. She gets it inside the Goodrich. Power move up and in. 14-0, 3 minutes in. And Norristown having all kinds of difficulties trying to get the ball. Now they have some numbers. As it's Brookheim, tries to get it ahead, and some miscommunication there with Dominique Mansfield as Mansfield was setting the pick. Brookheim gave it up. And now in transition, Springford ends up with another layup and an N1 possibility as Emily Tiffin got hacked and made the shot, and she'll go to the free throw line for the traditional three-point play. And some substitutions now for Norristown as they got to try to find and dial up some combination to deal with this pressure that Springford has employed her early on. Yeah, looks like a well-oiled machine here by Springford early as Norristown has struggled mightily on the offensive and defensive ends. Tiffin from the free throw line, up and good. That makes it a 17-0 Springford lead as they'll continue on with this press. And looking to inbound the basketball, and nearly a turnover, but it is Ashley Schools now with the basketball who looks to push it. She gets it to Thomas, back to Schools as they're trying to get the ball inside, and they're unable to now. Gets a pick from Tamar Wright, and Ashley Schools looks to take it all the way up and no good. Gets her own rebound. Hook shot, up and good. As Ashley Schools gets the Eagles off the schneid, 17-2. They trail by 15 midway through the first quarter. Now a three and a quick answer by Springford as Casey Marty got the ball in the corner and buried a three. And just like that, a 20-2 Ram lead in less than 4 minutes of basketball. Full timeout called by the Eagles. We'll be right back. So out of the timeout, Norristown trailing by 18, 20-2. And Springford is going to continue on with this press here as Norristown has had fits dealing with a full court press, and Brookheim with the basketball. And it looks like Springford looks to double. Brooke gets it ahead to Tanaya Bird. Bird Hands it off to Tamara Wright. Now Norristown is set up as they've started to be a little bit more successful. Bird nearly lost her footing, but she does give up the basketball, and it's going to be Tiffin with the ball. I think she might be traveling, but no call. And now Springford on the loose. As Marty gets it to Magzalo. They swing it to Casey Marty. And now they're looking inside to Olivia Olson. Olson, one dribble, passes to the corner. And some excellent offense. Going to end up with an open three in the corner, no good. And we're going to have a foul on Springford. That's just about the only thing that's gone wrong for the Rams so far is a little bit of early foul trouble. As this will be the fourth team foul early on here in the first quarter. So if Norristown can get a couple more, they should be able to take advantage from the free throw line, although last night's difficulties at the free throw line certainly prevented them from a chance at a W. Ashley Schools unsuccessful with an air ball, but the loose change picked up by Tiana Bird. And Norristown now with their third and fourth points of the evening. Some good defense there to smack the ball out of bounds. Springford will maintain possession of the basketball. And a pretty deep team for Springford as they are able to go 10 deep. Springford inbounds the basketball, baseline left. Top of the key is Olivia Olson. Olson dishes it out to the wing as they try to get it inside, and they do, to Alyssa Yoon. She's unsuccessful. It's Brooke Heim that comes down with the basketball. Heim gets it ahead, but losing control of it was Tiana Bird, and here comes Springford. As they're always looking for the open shot, they get it, and it's up and in. As Casey Marty, once again, off a Norristown turnover, leads to 2 points for Springford. And it's like Tamara Wright nearly turns the ball over, but it gets it to Ashley Schools. Schools inside, Cy Evans, bounce pass underneath. And Tiana Bird couldn't get it to go. Here comes Springford as this team really wants to get out and run and get open looks. And they're going to get another one in the corner. As a three is going to be an air ball by Emily Tiffin. Last touch by, looks like, Springford. So it'll be Norristown basketball. And it looks like they're calling the Dogs off a little bit here. A little three-quarter press. And Springford working on some stuff here. Looks like Norristown try to take advantage of this. And Tamara Wright, under duress, gets it to Ashley Schools. Schools crosses the timeline. Dribbles off the foot, another turnover. Here come the Rams. Layup, no good, but a foul as Casey Marty tried to use the left hand but got hacked by number 11, Tamara Wright. She'll go to the charity stripe for a couple. Second team foul on Norristown. That's Wright's first. Marty with a handful of dribbles at the free throw line. First free throw's up and good. Another substitution for Springford. Entering the game is Skylar Sullivan, 5'7" guard. Marty's second free throw is up, and that is short. And the rebound comes down to Tiana Bird. But another turnover by Norristown. And the foul's going to be on the floor as Tamara Wright committed the foul for Norristown. That'll be her second, team's third. And Springford will inbound the basketball, baseline left. Alyssa Yoon will inbound for Springford as they've gotten whatever they wanted here, and they're going to get another easy layup off the inbounds play. It's just a little dipsy-do for Olivia Olson, and it is now a 25-4 Ram lead. We got a $1:30 to play here in the first quarter. Schools tried to get it to Brookheim, and again, a frustrated Norristown Eagles team turns the ball over. And we'll see if Springford can take advantage offensively as they do pass the ball around like a hot potato. They missed that particular shot, but it is Tiana Bird now with the basketball. As Tamara Wright now looks to advance for Norristown. She gets it to Ashley Schools, and something that hasn't happened too often. Norristown in an offensive set, and again, some aggressive defense is going to result in a Springford foul, the fifth team foul. So just 2 fouls away from Norristown getting to the bonus. Shania Thomas enters the game now for the Eagles as Brookheim will inbound the ball. She finds Ashley Schools off the inbounds. 3 is up and no good. And the ball fight for the ball. Last touch by Norristown. It'll be Springford basketball. As we approach the 1-minute mark here in the first. It is a 21-point Ram lead. And they're looking for more. With the ball on the wing, Skylar Sullivan. As they swing it back. And an open 3 for Casey Marty is no good. But Yoon with an offensive rebound, another opportunity. And a hook shot underneath is up and in. As the baby hook from Olivia Olson. And again, Springford getting whatever they want offensively. As Ashley Schools able to beat the press to get it to Tamara Wright. And Tamara Wright is able to penetrate the double team. Floater's no good, but the rebound comes down to Tian Bird. Now Brookheim with the basketball. See if she can get something going. Hasn't gotten a shot off yet. And now set up again. See if Norristown wants to hold for one. There is 27 seconds left in this quarter. That mercifully is looking to come to an end from the Norristown perspective. And another turnover. That one we wouldn't say was necessarily forced, just a little bit careless there. And once again, underneath Springford, Yoon can't get it to go. Norristown with possession of the basketball. 9 seconds left, falling down, but getting it to Brookheim before the travel was called. Now Brook, with 3 seconds left, they're going to have to get something going here. 2 seconds left, and time is going to have expired before Norristown's able to get a shot off. And what I would say is a disastrous first quarter for the Eagles, as they are up against a juggernaut here in the Rams. 27-4, our score after 8 minutes of play. We'll be right back. We are about ready to start this second quarter as Norristown looking to change their fortune here early on, as they are in a 23-point hole just 8 minutes into this game, as they've had all kinds of trouble trying to figure out the press by the Rams. And we are underway here in the second. It's Tamara Wright with the basketball. Man-to-man defense by the Rams. We'll see how Norristown deals with this. And a nice little crossover. And a layup is no good. Nice little move by Tamara Wright. But we're going to have an over-the-top call on Shania Thomas, who can't believe the call. Looks like the fourth-team foul on Norristown. Nice little killer move there by Tamara Wright. Just couldn't get the floater to go. So here comes Springford, led by Lucy Olson. Olson gets it to the top of the key to Goodrich. Goodrich nearly throws it away. Norristown really sinking back offensively, and active hands there leads to a turnover. Now Tamara Wright. She'll slow it up, but she did not have numbers. She finds Brookheim on the wing. Heim looks to try to get it inside, and then again a careless pass intended for Dominique Mansfield. Is some of these turnovers are forced and some of them are not forced. Give all the credit in the world to Springford. However, some of these turnovers certainly could be prevented on Norristown's end. So Norristown in their 2-3 zone. It's Olson. Looks inside to a cutting Boyer. Nothing there. Olson gets it back. Finds Goodrich at the top of the key. Yoon inside to Olson. Thought Olson might have lifted up that pivot, which she didn't, but they swing it out to Boyer. Boyer misses the three, but another offensive rebound for Abby Goodrich. And another foul on Norristown, 5th team foul. And Springford will inbounds the basketball, baseline left. Another substitution for Norristown as head coach Rich Fisher tries to come up with a combination that can stem the tide here. Inbound play, open three, no good. Now Norristown, as it looks like Springford is going to not use this press much anymore, at least for right now, considering they're up 23. Emily Schools, 17-footer, top of the keys, up and in. So Emily Schools, the lefty, hits her first shot of the game. And now Olsen with the ball, tries to get it inside the Goodrich, now swings it over to Boyer. Boyer belt high right hand dribble. Now Olsen penetrates, back to Boyer. She's got an open three. Short. Rebound comes down to Norristown, who's going to be a race for the ball. And it's going to be Boyer who wins that race. And another offensive set for the Rams. Here we go in the corner. Olsen, pump fakes, 7-footer, got it. Slick play by Lucy Olsen as she used the pump fake to generate some space, get to the baseline, and nailed a little 7-footer. An efficient offensive possession right there. Another 3-quarter press here. Norristown is able to break the press, and they should have a chance to set up as Tamara Wright will get the Eagles offense in motion. Hands off to Schools and gets it back. Looks like they're trying to run a play for Schools. Schools nearly trips coming out of the screen. Top of the key, thought about three. Dishes off, and she dishes off to the wrong person. And it's going to be a layup for Skylar Sullivan, who was in the right place at the right time right there. Another turnover leads to 2 more points. We got 5:31 to play. The score is 31-6. The leader is the Rams. And in trouble now and throwing it away again as Norristown is christened when they should have crossed and having all kinds of troubles anytime they're under pressure here. Largest lead of the game now for Springford as they lead by 25. Olsen, who can get any shot she wants when she wants, buries a 14-footer from the right wing, and she is a juggernaut offensively, and those long arms certainly causing problems defensively. And now Brookheim swings it over to Tamara Wright. She'll try to beat it with her feet, and she does. Tamara Wright now get the Eagles set up. And they're trying to get the ball inside, but again, they're having all kinds of trouble trying to feed the ball into the post to the forwards for Norristown. And another substitution for the Eagles now. So here comes Springford, up by 27. We are under 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. 16-footer from the wing is no good, but another offensive rebound. And we're going to have a foul on the floor as it was Yoon who was looking to drive baseline. Couldn't get it to go. It's going to be the 6th-team foul on Norristown, so next team foul, Springford will be in the 1-and-1. Some more substitutions for Springford as they can afford to play hard for quite some time when you're so deep. They get it inside the Goodrich. She's hacked right away, so she'll go to the free throw line for a couple. And again, Springford with a very efficient offense. As ball never seems to stick in somebody's hands for too long. And that ball movement and that cutting gets a lot of open looks. So the future Golden Bear Goodrich, her first free throw is up and good. Two of two for Goodrich at the line. 35-6 Springford. 4 minutes and change here to play in the second. And so Springford laying back right now, but again, Norristown 35 feet away from the basket as they try to set up their offense. And no motion right now from the Eagles. There's not a lot of movement, no one for Wright to pass the basketball to. They're going to have to create some cuts and get some people moving. Right now, there's nothing happening on the offensive end for the Eagles. It's going to be tough to get some looks here And now it looks like Wright's going to try to do it on her own as she takes it to the hoop. Some contact there, couldn't get it to go, and the rebound comes down to Springford, and they'll push right away. And you're going to get an open three at the top of the key if they want it. They pass it on. It's Boyer from the wing, in and out. Rebound. Up and in. Oh, thought that went in, did not. But again, another offensive rebound. Boyer in the corner. And they're looking again to Olsen. Now Alessandri. And that ball is dribbled. Now we're going to get a traveling violation. As Goodrich in a little bit of traffic there, turned the ball over. Just about the only thing that's gone wrong for the Rams here tonight. Let's see if the Eagles can get a decent shot off now, as they got to get some motion in this offense and get some bodies moving. They find it. Ashley Schools. She's double teamed. She needs some help, and she turns it over. And just like that, it's going to lead to another layup, as it's Boyer with the left hand up and in. 31-point lead for the Rams. Under 3 minutes to play here in the second. As Norristown has had all kinds of issues anytime they've been pressured by Springford. And they just seem to be a little bit careless with the basketball. Another turnover by Norristown, and another layup by the Rams. 39-6. It's Boyer with her second consecutive field goal. And Springford, you can tell, is going to challenge for a Pac-10 championship this year, as they went toe-to-toe with Perkiomen Valley last year, and they certainly seem like a sharp team ready to get some revenge on Perkiomen Valley. Another turnover for Norristown, and here come the Rams again. And trying to take it coast-to-coast, unsuccessful, was Emily Tiffin, but she was fouled, and she will go to the free throw line. So Tiffin at the free throw line. She'll have a couple of free throws here to try to extend this 33-point Springford lead. First free throw is up and good. Two of two from the line from Tiffin. And Norristown trails by 35, their largest deficit of the game. As it's Amari Wise with the basketball. A lot of dribbling, hands it off to Ashley Schools. Schools nearly lost the basketball. Now she runs baseline, gets a pick from Wise. Wise gets it back. They swing it across. I think that ball was deflected. Maybe not, says the Zebra. And it'll be Springford basketball. So yet another turnover by the Eagles. So we are under 2 minutes to play here in the quarter. It's been an onslaught by the Springford Rams, as they have put their foot on the pedal and not let up. They have taken off the press considering the size of their lead. Excellent sign of sportsmanship. But again, it's a basketball game. You got to try to stop the opponent. And right now, Springford looks unstoppable. Norristown does get a stop right there, and now they'll look to get something going offensively. It's Amari Wise with the basketball. Gets a pick from Heim. Springford commits a foul underneath, and it's going to send, no, that's only going to be the 6th-team foul on Springford. As Springford, very athletic. They're able to switch just about everything. Like a machine with interchangeable parts right now. And very, very difficult to coach against and play against when you have 5 like players. So now it's Olsen, stays in front of Amari Wise, gets a pick, and they find Brookheim. Brookheim's going to take it. A little pump fake, turnaround, 7-footer, up, can't get it to go. Good box out by number 14, Olivia Olsen, and now it's the Springford Rams as we approach the 1-minute mark here in the second quarter. Underneath to a cutting Olsen, couldn't get it to go. Now Lucy Olson with the basketball in the corner. 3, up, got it. As nothing but the bottom of the net there for Olson. And another 3 now for the Rams, and it is now a 38-point lead, 44-6 with 31 seconds to play. Now Wise takes it to the hoop. Loses it. Springford ball. We'll see if they hold for one. And I just heard him say last shot, so it looks like they will hold for one shot. 17 seconds left. They'll swing the ball around the perimeter. Now they will not, as an open shot was missed by Gabs Alessandri. Now Norristown with an opportunity to get the last possession of this half and try to go into halftime with some sort of positive note. Mari Wise going to run out of time. So that'll do it. After 2 quarters of play, your score, the visiting Rams of Springford 44, the Eagles of Norristown 6. We'll be back. And welcome back, folks. We're just about ready to get started this second half as Norristown, I got to do the math in my head here, 44-6. Looks like a 36-point deficit. A 38-point deficit, yeah. I would fail the PSSAs in a second, no doubt about that. And right away, Springford offensively is Lucy Olson, misses an elbow jumper, but a offensive rebound for Springford, and now a attempted putback, no good by Goodrich. She will go to the line as she has caused fits for the Eagles underneath that basket tonight. And a powerful offensive player. Free throw is up and no good. Oh of 2 from the line for Goodrich. Empty possession now for Springford, and see if Norristown can get something going offensively. They scored 4 points in the first quarter, just 2 in the second. A lot of numerous turnovers, and a layup opportunity up no good, and a strip underneath as it was Thomas who got the offensive rebound, got stripped by Springford, and now an open 3 from the corner is off the window and no good. But again, the active hands of Springford, as they were just relentless when you have the basketball around them, creates another turnover. Now Brookheim with the basketball, and she dishes off to Tamara Wright. So here come the Eagles. Scoreless to start this third quarter. Emily Schools on the wing, looks to try to get it inside. Goodrich is going to front Thomas. Now Brookheim at the top of the key, misses her 3. Springford the rebound, and they'll push. As once again it's Olson, and gets it to her teammate. Misses it. Olson got the offensive board. She couldn't get it to go. And now it's Emily Schools. Tries to get it ahead to Thomas. Thomas, can she gather it in time? She can, but she has her shot rejected by the long arm of the law. So here comes Springford. Lucy Olson in the corner. And the 3 is up and in for Casey Marty. As the 2-3 zone of Norristown, certainly with good passing, 2-3 zone is going to yield some open 3s. And Springford is taking advantage of those shots tonight as they now lead by 41. Now Norristown, nearly another turnover. Again, that's what we're talking about, those careless ones right there. Is Norristown's got to be a little bit more concerned about how they handle the basketball, a little nonchalant, and Springford will feast on that nonchalance if you are not to be aware of what's going on. So now Norristown, Schools in the corner for 3, misses badly. Rebound comes down to Springford. And here come the Rams once again. They try to get it to Goodrich. Goodrich gathers it, gets it back to her teammate. Wide open 3 at the top, up and nothing but the bottom of the net. As Lucy Olson, when she has a look, she is quite a shooter. And they have hit half a century so far here. 50-6, 5:31 to play. And 2 people setting a pick at the same time here for Norristown. Gets Schools open with the basketball. As Springford laying back right now. As Schools tries to penetrate, misses the layup off the window. And again, Norristown's offensive struggles continue. And Goodrich in transition. Looks out to the wing. Finds Marty. Marty, top of the key. Swings it over to Olson. Now back to Tiffin. Olsen gets it back. Wide open in the corner is Marty. Now Marty gets it underneath the Goodrich, up and in. As she got hit by Brookheim, and she knows how to use that body well as she took the contact and also made the shot. So she'll go to the free throw line for the old-fashioned three-point play. And some substitutions now for Springford as they have picked up where they have left off in this third quarter, as they certainly seem like they're going to be a juggernaut in this Pac-10 this year. Some substitutions now for Norristown as Taj Wright, freshman, checks into the game. If anything, getting some good experience in a varsity basketball game, help grow her career as she matures into an excellent basketball player. So it's Wright with the basketball. Pressured by Olsen, double teamed. Passes it all out of bounds. Last touch by Springford. And Wright's going to look to inbound the basketball. And School's off a pick. Can't get it to her. Can't get it to Heim. Bounce pass to Cy Evans, who comes to save the day. But then the ball's turned over again. 2-on-1 for Springford. Bounce pass up, in. Terrific layoff there as Lucy Olsen laid it in on a nice dish by Casey Marty. 55-6. Taj Wright gets bumped. Just the first team foul of the half on Emily Tiffin. And now some wholesale substitutions on Springford's side, as they are going to the end of their bench now with a 49-point lead. .403 to play, 55-6. And Brookheim inbounds the basketball, too tall for Taj Wright, and it's going to lead to a layup as Magazola is the beneficiary of another Norristown turnover, and the lead is now 51. Norristown yet to score so far in this third quarter. Taj Wright to Scholes in the corner. Scholes' three is up. It is no good. The rebound battled for by Sevens and Yen, and it's Springford that comes down with it. Now Bowers looks to push. And penetrating on the baseline, left hand up and in. Skylar Sullivan with a slick move on the baseline to make it a 53-point lead. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left. Brookheim on the wing, pump fakes. Now looks to back in. She's had trouble getting her shot off tonight, as have most of the Norristown Eagles. And Wright's layup attempt is no good. Here comes Springford again. Out in transition. 17-footers up and no good. Air ball results in a Springford offensive rebound. And it looks like Moraxola again, as she's scored two in a row with a jump shot from the top of the key. 61-6, under 3 minutes to play. Wright in the corner. Brookheim back to Wright. Now Scholes, not shy about shooting, but woefully short on that one. And Norristown not exactly hustling back on defense right now, as Springford always looks to push. Now they'll set up a play, as it is Magazola. Be trapped by the Eagles. She finds her teammate in the corner, and that's number 30, Skylar Sullivan. Sullivan looks like she carried the basketball, and they're going to call double dribble. Same difference. Some more substitutions now. And I'm joined tonight by legendary Wes Narden and Norristonian Bob Davis, who is a stalwart around this place. And, Bob, I just got to ask you, you're the coach of a team that's down 45 at the half. What do you say in the locker room when you're down 40 at the half?
There's not a lot you can say. You just keep your chin up and work hard and get better. That's all you can do.
Tough to learn when you're down that much. But in the end, Norristown finally on the scoreboard this second half as they get their 7th and 8th point of the night. As we have just a minute 30 to play, the PIAA rule, when you trail by 40, they will run the clock. In essence, a mercy rule here to limit the damage, so to speak. Now Springford with some terrific ball movement. See if it ends up in an open three. They do pound it inside instead to Yoon. Yoon dribbles underneath the basket, finds an open teammate, and a little floater by number 14, Olivia Olsen, is good. And again, Springford passing that ball around like a hot potato. Bounce pass inside for the Eagles and maybe get away with a walk was number 3. We don't have her name here on our roster, so I can't give you one. And we're going to get a travel right now as Boyer picks up her dribble early, results in a turnover. Just the 6th turnover of the night for Springford, as they have been an offensive machine, pretty much getting anything they want on the offensive tonight. From the free throw line, 3-point line, layups. Right, 17-footers no good. Ball's last touched out of bounds by Springford. And looks like Norristown should get the last possession of the game, as the running clock is now taking us down to 14 seconds left. As Destiny Steele is checked into the game now for Norristown. She finds Wright. Steele gets it back. Finds Scholes top of the key from way downtown. Looked good, but left it a little short. And now just 1 second left, and that'll do it as the quarter comes to an end. And another workmanlike performance by the Springford Rams, as they will take, let me do my math again, a 55-point lead to start this 4th quarter. We'll be right back. So just about ready to start this 4th quarter in a night that's been all Springford Rams, as Norristown trails 63-8. And again, we'll be running the clock here in this 4th quarter. So if you are joining us right now, you'll need to find something to do in about 7 minutes and 55 seconds. It's right in the corner for Norristown. And Norristown works the ball around the perimeter. Right, pump fake, floater, no good off the side of the backboard. And here come the Rams, as it looks like they've gone deep to their bench to try to get things going. As Alyssa Ewan unsuccessful on her layup attempt, but she will go to the free throw line.
Okay. Block.
The first free throw for Ewan is up and good.
Yeah.
And some discussion now as to whether the clock should be running or not. I do believe it's supposed to run no matter what. Now it's not running at all, even though we are. And some confusion here, but we'll see what happens as we are under 7 minutes and 30 seconds to play. Another foul or another turnover by Norristown as a result in a jump ball, and Springford's going to get possession of the basketball. And not sure if maybe it's the issue about free throws, if whether or not they stop the clock because of free throws, as the clock is running now. And we may have an injured Ram, as they're going to be looking for Dennis Flynn, the athletic trainer. And it looks like we have a bloody nose on the part of the Springford Rams, as she'll be tended to by the excellent athletic trainer, Dennis Flynn. He's been a long-time athletic trainer here at the high school in his 34th year of service. And well-liked by the faculty and athletics alone, or athletes alone around here. And he'll tend to that bloody nose. No problem there. He'll lead her into the dressing room. Hopefully she'll be okay. Back of the action, 6:25 to play. 65-8 is our score. And Springford with the basketball, continuing to mount on their massive lead. And Bowers with the ball, top of the key. Norristown stays in that 2-3 zone. And again, Springford really moves that ball around the perimeter well and ends up with some open looks. They get one from the elbow to fall, as that was Lexi Fisher, who got the ball at the right elbow and buried the jumper. Another assist for the Springford Rams basketball team. As you can tell, this is a very well-coached bunch, destined to go far this year. Now Norristown, as they try to get it underneath to, it's like Natavia Dunlap, as Norristown also getting some more inexperienced players into the ball game with a running clock. Just a little more than 5 minutes to play here in the fourth. So as Norristown trailing by 59, a three from the corner is up and in. As that was Taj Wright, who buries a three. Nice looking shot there by the freshman, as maybe we got something to work with right there. As excellent form, and she banged the three when left open. So Norristown now trails 67-11. But now Yoon steps in and hits a 17-foot jump shot. 69-11. 4:40 to play, as Norristown will have to pick up the pieces and move on from this. Sometimes you need to have a short memory in this game. And, maybe not the freshest legs, as they did play last night against Academy Park, a game that was very winnable, a game that started a little bit late and took a little bit of time. And I think maybe you'll see a better version of Norristown as this season continues to unfold. Some players that a little less experience are going to gain experience, and hopefully Rich Fisher can mold this team and scrape out a couple W's to win as the season continues on. But another turnover down by Norristown as Tamara Wright turns it over to Bowers or Boyer, and Boyer will set it up as Springford gets it underneath. And looks like Julia Hensler with the basketball right now. She finds her teammate on the wing. Boyer inside to number 32, Haley Hudak. And Springford in no particular hurry with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. And the three from the top of the key is going to be good, as that was Megan Moore who buried a three. Everybody getting in on the action for Springford right now, and it is now a 61-point lead. And Norristown, again, not a lot of motion offensively here. And it is Tamara Wright in the corner. Taj Wright with another good look. Couldn't get that to go. And Springford with a rebound. And now they're going to slow it up too. Good sportsmanship here by Springford. They could certainly score more if they wanted to, but they're going to run their offensive set, take their time. And they look to try to get it inside. And it's going to lead to a little floater from the corner. No good by Julia Hensler. So Norristown with the ball. And another turnover. Again, that's one of those careless ones, not necessarily forced. Don't know how many they've had tonight, but they've been countless. Springford in transition, as it is going to be Julia Hensler, beneficiary of another Springford assist. It is now a 74-11 Springford lead. As we approach the 2-minute mark here, Destiny Steele nearly lost the ball, gathered it back, and Norristown trying to set something up. Steele in the corner. She's pressured. Gets it back. Now they look inside. And again, under pressure was Natavia Dunlap. Steele in the corner, three. Barely grazes the rim, and the rebound comes down to Springford. And we'll see if they look to push or if they want to set it up, and instead they're going to set it up. Abby Boyer, 5'3" sophomore, gets their offensive motion, and it's going to be a layup that is no good. Rebound comes down to Norristown. Minute 30 to play. And ball's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Springford will be Norristown basketball. Not much rest for the Eagles, as they'll have a day off tomorrow, but they'll be back at it on Thursday night. And again, still be looking for their first win of the year, as they will drop to 0-3. And again, a very competitive game last night, a winnable game last night, but couldn't get the open shots to fall and struggled from the free throw line. Tonight, I think the result was set a few minutes after the game began. Natavia Dunlap gets her first field goal of the evening as we approach the 45-second mark here of this fourth quarter in what's been all Springford. Boyer with the basketball. Throws it away. And again, not a lot's gone wrong for Springford tonight as they've taken great care of the basketball. And with 13 points, they've made Norristown earn every one of them. And we have 20 seconds left to play in what should be the last offensive possession of the night. See if Norristown can go out on a good note here. And it is Tamara Wright with the basketball. She looks to find Taj Wright. Taj in the corner. Her three is up, and it is strong. And the rebound comes down to Springford, and that is going to do it. Final score here from the gymnasium at Norristown. 74 for Springford, 13 for the Eagles. We thank you for joining us tonight, and a big thanks to John Doyle for all he does here at the high school. Another 70-hour a week for him as this game was live streamed, and look forward to future live streaming games amongst the boys and girls as this basketball season unfolds. I'm Ian Morris. Good night, folks.